We are law-abiding citizens, and we're going to stand up and show the world they're going to be disappointed if they think we are going to act a fool again.
And while community leaders work to keep the peace, police prepare in case they fail. On a normal day, just 600 cops are on the streets of Los Angeles. There are double that during deliberations, and when the verdict comes in, there will be 3,200 police officers on the street at a time.
It will be visible in that you will see more officers in the street, and it will certainly be visible in terms of if there's a call for service, you're going to get a quicker response. This is the kind of situation that we'd like to be in all the time, where we could put these many extra officers out on the street.
Well, so far those police officers have very little to do. Today we saw 2 police officers issuing 3 tickets for jaywalking, which should show the world, if nothing else, that things are, so far at least, quiet here in Los Angeles. Reporting live from the federal courthouse in L.A., Jim Dolan, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, Jim, things are anything but quiet in Ohio. A full-scale riot is underway tonight in an Ohio prison that houses some of the most dangerous inmates in the state. Authorities at the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility don't know how many guards are being held hostage tonight, nor how many of the 1,800 inmates are involved in this riot. At least 7 guards have been injured. SWAT teams and state troopers have surrounded the maximum security prison in south central Ohio.
The crime in Oceanside, Long Island is against a church, an unholy act of desecration. Tonight, parishioners are asking, is nothing sacred? And police are looking for suspects. Celeste Ford has the story.
For Catholics, Easter Sunday is the holiest day of the year. But at St. Anthony's Church in Oceanside, the celebration is marred by vandalism and thievery. It happened in their chapel on Good Friday.
What's most disheartening is not the loss. We can recoup the things that were stolen, but that it would happen this particular weekend and that someone would, break into a house of worship. That's, I think, the most disheartening part of this whole thing.
Father Reynolds says the thieves broke in through the back door. They emptied the pour boxes, took the speaker system and the microphones, and tore the telephone right off the wall. Somehow, they missed the gold chalices, but managed to carry off most of the wine. Finally, in an appalling show of disrespect, they defecated in this hallway.
People that have to resort to this are desperate for something. They should probably be in church with the rest of us.
Parishioners can't help asking that old question, is nothing sacred anymore?
I don't know, with this younger element today, it's unbelievable that some of the things that they do. They really do.
9-year-old John Fellon knows better.
I think it's terrible that someone could do something so low.
The pastor says he does not think this was an act against Catholics. Rather, it was a senseless act. On Easter Sunday, he says it requires forgiveness, if not understanding. In Oceanside, Celeste Ford, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
And elsewhere around the world, Easter Sunday brought prayers of compromise and peace. Pope John Paul II delivered his Easter message to a crowd of 50,000 people in Vatican City. He appealed to world leaders to put an end to the bloody civil war in the former Yugoslavia. And in Jerusalem, pilgrims from around the world gathered at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The service brought Catholic, Protestant, and Eastern Orthodox churches together in worship. And here at home, people of all denominations gathered on the observation deck of the Empire State Building to offer prayer for AIDS patients and for victims of violence. Jay DeDapper has more on today's local Easter celebrations.
Never saw you look quite so pretty before.
Oh, what a glorious day to show off your Easter bonnet. And what better place to do it than Fifth Avenue? The annual Easter parade was brimming with color and costume today as thousands flocked to the street to see or be seen. While tourists clicked their cameras, those bedecked posed. The looks ranged from Mae West to Alexis Colby, a few tributes to left field thrown in for good measure. And along with all the seasoned veterans, there were some obvious first-timers who caught it all without even having to take a single step.
Happy Easter.
While the throngs filled Fifth Avenue, John Cardinal O'Connor gave Easter liturgy at St. Patrick's Cathedral, relating his memories of childhood Easters past.
Even though I might have been 10 years old, Mr. Alessi would give us both the big glass of Chianti, which both he and my father seemed to think was good for my blood. I'm still here.
In In another tradition, singing filled the air as hundreds followed the chief bishop of the Armenian Church of America into the street in front of St. Vartan's to release white doves, the action symbolizing Christ's dispatching of his apostles. And in the spirit of charity, several New York celebrities joined 55 seniors from a city housing center for Easter dinner at Ben Benson's Steakhouse in Midtown. For 11 years, the restaurant has served up prime rib and ham to this group, and for the first time, the mayor stopped in, which gave everybody one more reason to dress their best.
We always say to each other, let's put on our good clothes, you know. So I wore a Schiaparelli hat from way back, maybe the 20s. It's good even in the rain, and I'm still wearing it.
It was a day that mixed the holy and the irreverent and the downright odd. By all accounts, a pretty typical Easter in New York. In Midtown, J.D. Dapper, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Well, it has not been a peaceful Easter everywhere. Violence erupts on a Baltimore street over a dice game. 12 people are wounded and 1 man is in custody.
And fire still smolders in Kearney, New Jersey. A huge blaze at a chemical warehouse sent toxic fumes into the air and shut down roads. We will have an update when we come back.
Excellence at Joyce Honda. Throughout the years, Joyce Honda has been serving northern New Jersey with quality automobiles at affordable pricing. So, whether you're buying or leasing, Joyce Honda will satisfy all your transportation needs. How do I know so much about Joyce Honda? I'm Deborah Greco, and this is my mother, Joyce.
Our family's name and reputation go on every car we deliver. Discover the distinction of excellence at Joyce Honda, Route 10, Denville, New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Sam Champion. Please join me and help the March of Dimes ensure healthy futures for the next generation of New Yorkers. You can help prevent low birth weight by coming out Sunday, April 25th, rain or shine, and be a part of Walk America. There's a new, shorter walk this year with lots of festivities planned. So lend a hand, move your feet, and help save babies' lives. Call 1-800-BIG-WALK to register. That's 1-800-BIG-WALK.
Tonight, police in Baltimore are still searching for 3 suspects who sprayed a busy street corner last night with bullets, wounding 12 people. Police have made 1 arrest, and he is charged tonight with 12 counts of attempted murder. Police say that up to 40 gunshots were fired at a group playing dice. Police believe that 1 suspect lost money in the dice game. The victims were all male, ages 14 to 55. None of the injuries appears to be life-threatening.
Firefighters in Kearney, New Jersey are keeping a watchful eye on the smoldering ruins of that chemical warehouse that burned out of control for more than 5 hours yesterday. They say there are still hot spots in the wreckage of the warehouse that stored chlorine for swimming pools. The fire sent 1 million gallons of chlorine into the air, forced thousands of New Jersey residents to stay indoors for a time, and shut down sections of major highways. Well, they're still trying to clean up a massive oil spill on the Mississippi River tonight. A barge dumped more than 200,000 gallons of heavy refined oil into the river after the barge hit a bridge about 35 miles north of New Orleans. Containment of the spill is being hampered by the swift river currents. Harry?
In outer space, the crew of the Space Shuttle Discovery spent part of its Easter launching a new satellite. The satellite is going to be used on a short research mission to learn how wind patterns around the sun impact weather back here on Earth. It's going to be retrieved in 2 days. The crew also spent part of the day doing a live weather forecast for the Weather Channel.
And coming up, a live sportscast. History repeats itself in Augusta, Georgia. Mark Stevens will have highlights of the Masters next in sports.
Plus, the Mets' Bobby Bonilla admits that he's been a bad boy and a follow-up to yesterday's battle with a sports writer.
And it looks like the New York Knicks are on a roll. The highlights from Boston when we come back.
Maybe that'll turn into this. You know, Ultra Downy is the only softener that makes its bottles entirely from the plastic we recycle.
Ultra Downy, softness, and so much more.
Come on into Downy.
Next, we have the stress test. Make sure the machine is operating. How do you feel about traffic jams? Good. Root canal. I love that sound. The IRS. Oh, dear.
Maybe he didn't understand the question.
The IRS offers free refund information and workshops, free publications, and a toll-free hotline to make tax preparation a lot less taxing.
Well, I have a green jacket, and this is not worth $300,000 plus dollars.
But how's your golf game? It's worth a start. Just like the professional golfers, no wardrobe. Like Sarah's is complete without the Masters top prize. It's a little darker green jacket, and it goes to the winner at Augusta, where Bernhard Langer today added his second green blazer to his closet. He adds the 1993 Masters to his 1985 titles. Langer started the day with a 4-stroke lead and then watched it shrink to just 1 over Dan Forsman till Forsman dropped his tee shot on 12 into the creek. Quadruple bogey finished Forsman.
This is amazing. Unbelievable. Mets as a team, along with Bobby, glad to get out of town after getting
swept this weekend by the Astros at Shea, where this Easter bonnet would have made Bugs Bunny very proud. Now, Chris James has a right to be proud. Got 3 hits for the ball game, also drives in a pair as the Astros went up 5-0 till the Mets got to Greg Swindell in the 7th. Forget about it. With a man aboard, Eddie Murray, his first homer of the year, only the Mets team's second one, made it 5-2. Dave Gallagher doubled in another, then Joe Orsulak squeezes this one through, scores Gallagher, it's 5-4. Then with the tying run on, Xavier Hernandez gets Vince Coleman swinging, end of the rally, end of the Mets. First time the Astros have swept them at Shea in almost 10 years. Also in the National League, the Giants by a run, Montreal crushes Colorado. Philly the shutout, John Smoltz does it to the Dodgers, and it's San Diego 6-2 over the Marlins. The Yankees must be ready for their home opener at the stadium tomorrow because they sure looked homesick today in Chicago, allowing the Sox to avoid a sweep by just playing bad baseball. Don Mattingly didn't. Donnie, a pair of hits, a pair of RBIs. This single here in the 5th puts the Yankees up 2-1, moved Wade Boggs to 3rd. He later scored on a sacrifice, so it was 3-1 Yanks till the 6th. Sox already had 1, then 2 on, 2 outs. Joey Cora flies to right where Danny Tartabull just flat out misses it. Wasn't called an error, but should have been. The tying and go-ahead run scored, and then it gets worse. On Lance Johnson's comeback, Rich Monteleone nonchalants it so high it pulls Don Mattingly off the bag. Sox had a 2-run lead. They wouldn't give up. Final in Chicago, 6-4. Yankees give it away. In the American League, Cleveland takes Toronto, Kansas City by 1, Oakland over Milwaukee, Texas takes Boston, and it's California 7 and Detroit 6. And hockey, after beating the Devils tonight, the Islanders now within a point of clinching that final Patrick Division playoff spot. 3rd period, John McClain gets the equalizer for the Devils in the 3rd, made it 3-all. And with it 4 up, 6 minutes to go, Steve Thomas, the blast, wins it for the Isles. They need a point of any kind in their last 3 games to wrap up that final playoff spot. Or if the Rangers tie or lose a game, they'll wrap it up. That'll probably happen first. That'll do it in sports. I'm Mark Stevens.
Okay, Mark, thanks a lot.
All righty.
What can we all expect weather-wise as we head back to work tomorrow? Meteorologist Veronica Johnson coming up next with the AccuWeather forecast.
Plus, they're not your average Easter eggs. A holiday tradition with a very exotic twist when we come back.
You can take pride in America today.
Kids need something better to do than drugs, like music, because good things can be habit-forming too. So why not encourage your kids' habit?
How much time did you put into making Easter eggs this year? Bet not nearly as long as one Denver woman. Pam Genova makes some of the prettiest Easter eggs on either side of the Mississippi, and it takes her up to 50 hours to finish each one. Pam started off decorating chicken eggs when she was just 8 years old, but now she's glamorizing ostrich and goose eggs.
Well, it sure was a great day for an Easter egg.
Glorious.
We sure got a break.
A lot better than what we originally anticipated, but I don't think there were too many people complaining out there, especially the little kitties out doing the Easter egg hunting. Current temperatures now, let's take a look at them. We're now down to 51 degrees. Some pretty dry air is over the area. Humidity now at 59%. Incidentally, we did rise to 65 degrees today. That was just above normal for what our normal is for on this 11th day of April. 46 degrees, that was our low temperature, about normal. Winds are now gusting out of the northwest at 9 miles per hour, rather brisk. That's how we'll stay for the rest of the evening and for most of tomorrow as well. On the East Coast, not one but 2 low-pressure systems. One, the one that brought the rain last night, another one that brought snow for portions of Wisconsin and Michigan, thunderstorms and hail for Ohio and Indiana. Now, by tomorrow morning, this storm system will be over Maryland and eventually skirt to the south of our area, not really bringing us a lot of rain, but only some drizzle, some light rain. And then by tomorrow morning, both systems will merge offshore, pulling back some more clouds into our area. So, for low temperatures this evening, we'll find them in the 40s throughout most of the area. Some 30s with that northwesterly flow throughout portions of Washington down into Reddington. And it's there tomorrow that we'll see some of the warmest of weather in the 60s. We'll take to the 60s also for Suffolk and Nassau County, 58 degrees on the map then for our city temperature with some drying conditions behind the front. Again, expect some slight chance of showers during the early morning hours and by afternoon as well. Cooler air comes into the area, but out ahead of the system, pretty hot and warm throughout Mickeyland and also for portions of Texas in the 80s and 90s. For tomorrow morning then, your 7 a.m. forecast calls for a bit of clouds and a chance of drizzle at 51 degrees. Tomorrow we'll take it up not quite as warm as what we saw today, 58, partly cloudy, only a chance of a few showers, so we may see some breaks and get some sun into our forecast. Thursday, Friday, 62 degrees as another system, high pressure system works into our area.
Good hunt Easter eggs all week.
That's right.
Thanks, Veronica. Well, that's the news for us for right now. For Harry Martin, Mark Stevens, Veronica Johnson, and the entire Eyewitness News team, I'm Sarah Wallace. Have a good night.
Good night.